So man, we gotta take it back to an era, man. An era that is unforgettable, man. Like that song. And you are unforgettable, right? Anywho, we're gonna be talking about PBS Kids once again. Now, this is the third video I already made. This video took me a long time to get up here. I had a lot of editing to do with like some of the videos and stuff like that. Now, I do not own any of those videos, okay? So, shout out, I'm gonna give all my credits to the people who actually made those PBS Kids videos. I do not own any of those videos, like I said, okay? And also, when I click on the video and explain what PBS Kids is, I don't own that video either. I'm gonna give my credits to the person who made it, okay? Alright. Anywho, we're gonna talk about PBS Kids again. And we're not just talking about PBS Kids in general. We're talking about the 2002 to 2010 PBS Kids era. Give this era a round of applause, man. Please and thank you. Anywho, let's get into the explanation. So, PBS Kids is a children's television series that aired on July 11th or June 11th, 1994, which was originally called PTV Park. As you can see demonstrated over here, like the song, this is PBS. So, PTV Park would air from 1994 through 1999, and in 1999, Dash and Dot will become the PBS Kids mascots. But let's move on to the PTV Park shows. PTV Park had Where in the World is Coming San Diego. So, as I was saying before, PTV Park had great shows, starting with Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Barney and Friends. Those were the big three of PTV Park. Other shows came around like Shining Time Station, Newton's Apple, The Puzzle Place, and Reading Rainbow, and Whimsy's House, Lamb Chops Play Along, Charlie Horse Music Pizza. And yeah, those were the shows that were on the PTV block around the time. Until 1996 here, Arthur would join the PTV Park lineup, right? Lots of, which became more popular than people thought it would be, right? Also, another show that would air on there was Wishbone, which would also get a lot of buzz. Shining Time Station was what Thomas was, the old Thomas and Friends. Lots of people who were born around the 60s or 70s, or if they were 80s kid, they would enjoy it, right? So yeah. Also, they also had Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood would air from 1968 to 2001. 2001 was the death of Mr. Rogers. Sadly, rest in peace to him. He was born in 1928 and passed away in 2001. But Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood will never be forgotten, nor would Mr. Rogers will be. I will always have Mr. Rogers in my legacy. So, Mr. Rogers will have characters like X the Owl, Henrietta Kitty Cat, Daniel Tiger, of course, and a whole bunch more. I got the death date wrong. They got the death date wrong. Mr. Rogers actually died in 2001, which is sad. Mr. Rogers will also share, great stories and fun. Now let's move on to Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow was all about story reading, literacy, and great books for kids to read. The actor of this show was LeVar Burton, the star of Reading Rainbow. The series was released in 1982 or 1986 when LeVar was a young person. He was either 25 or 20 or whatever. LeVar Burton would be in his early 20s when Reading Rainbow was released. Now let's talk about Shining Time Station. Shining Time Station would be Thomas and Friends, and a lot. Thomas would become the star of the show. They would air lots of great live action television programs, whatever you call it, yada yada yada, right? All that fun jazz, right? But then Carmen Sandiego, the live action television series. Now, this wasn't much popular as it was, but some people seen it as a children's game show for everyone to watch. Now, the Lamb Chops play along will become their biggest fun, live action shows to watch. Charlie Horse would become the greatest. I love Charlie Horse, I'm pretty sure a lot of people love Charlie Horse. Charlie Horse would then get his own show, Charlie Horse Music Pizza. The actor of the Lamb Chops passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace to her. But Charlie Horse Music Pizza was a 1998 series that would air. So Storytime was also a show aired on PTV Park. That got a lot of buzz. Barney and Friends would also be there. Now Barney and Friends was starting to get more big and popular, like Sesame Street was. Barney was finally getting buzz in his name and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, right? It was nice seeing Barney, getting a lot of buzz and a lot, right? He was bringing fun, positive vibes. That is until 2016 when some allegations came out. Barney would no longer air on PBS. But Barney did bring positive vibes, and the children loved him, as stated in the series. Barney and Friends will also air other dinosaur characters like BJ, Riff, and Baby Bob. So basically, these 4 dinosaurs would also be mascots of the Barney and Friends series. Now Barney would start off as a little toy, and then he would come alive as a dinosaur, right? Not a real dinosaur, but he'll come as a dinosaur costume. Now, Kratts Creatures was the start of Wild Kratts. Which we were introduced to Wild Kratts. And Tots TV would also air on the block of PT Park. I've already said the puzzle place. If I did not, correct me if I did not say that in the comments, please and thank you. PTV Park was bringing fun buzz for 5 years until 1999, as I stated before. It was bringing great vibes. Now, Puzzle Place was another puppet commentary, live action, whatever you want to call it, right? It was like Lamb Chops play along, right? Right? And Tots TV was also a live action puppetry, right? Lots of puppetry. You feel me? So the Magic School Bus would also air on PTV Park, which I never knew. Now, when I was younger, I was in elementary school, I watched the hell out of the Magic School Bus. I remember my teachers would always they would always turn it on for us to watch, right? Fun vibes, right? It was really fun. I really loved the Magic School Bus till this day. Like, the Magic School Bus brought positive vibes. I ain't even gonna hold you. I do remember the Magic School Bus airing on Cubo, which was fun. I liked it. I was a young nigga back in the day. So as I stated before, in 1996, Arthur would be on PTV Park as well, which would make a buzz more than the puppetry, live action, cartoon type shows. Right? So now Tots TV didn't get much buzz either. It wasn't much taken there. So PTV Park would air their final episode, well, final airing date, if you will, and 1999 came around, September 5th. PBS Kids would later start changing. They would remove the live action commentary puppetry, and they would make another one called Between the Lions, Caillou, Teletubbies, Zaboomafoo, and they would continue to air Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, Barney and Friends. And they would bring around Clifford, the Big Red Dog. They would bring some animated shows that were great. Now, Between the Lines was another puppetry live action commentary series. And they would also air a baby Clifford called Clifford's Puppy Days, which was fun too. PBS Kids Book or Brunch was a Saturday morning cartoon block airing on PBS Kids for 2 hours from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 or other hours. But it wouldn't last long. It would only air for a year. 2003 to 2004, it would only air. Sago the Chinese Siamese Cat would also air on here as well. PBS Kids. PBS Kids was getting a lot of buzz in the name in the early 2000s, which they deserved it, right? You know what I'm saying? PBS Kids just getting the groove on. Now, Cyber Chase also joined PBS Kids in 2002, which will be their next show to air. PBS Kids was already dominating the block since 1999. Now, 1999, PBS Kids didn't get a lot of buzz at all, so they had to do something different, right? So in the early 2000s, they decided, you know what I'm saying, to bring more shows to gain a lot of buzz. Liberty's Kids didn't get a lot of buzz either. That show wasn't much of a good thing, if you will, right? October 11, 2004, PBS Kids Go will become their next block. Until 2013 of October 7th, they would be shut down. PBS Kids Go was a, drum roll please, dun 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 dun. An afternoon block for teenagers, airing from 3 o'clock p.m. to 6 at night. And due to the rebranding in 2013, PBS Kids Go would later leave the lineup. So, Dash and Dot became into clearer colors, and the PBS Kids mascot or the PBS Kids logo would turn even light greener and become even bigger, which Dash on the logo. Which in the captions they would say PBS Kids. So man, let's go back to the vault. Alright y'all. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this era or what you thought of this video. Share your thoughts on your favorite era of PBS Kids. And let me know what your favorite shows from PBS Kids are. Or until this day. Okay guys. I have some favorite shows that I like, so yeah. Anyways, man, don't forget to tune in to my birthday live stream on December 5th. If you guys don't want to, or you couldn't make it, that's totally fine with me. I'm not forcing anybody to, join the live stream or nothing like that, okay? Your boy is a chill YouTuber, okay? I'm not a petty YouTuber. I don't force anyone to watch my videos. If you don't want to watch my videos, that's totally fine by me. You don't have to, okay? Anywho, with that being said, I'm gonna get on up out of here.